Okay, this is the Troy Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, August 26th. Please call the roll.
Mr. Cappers?
Here.
Mr. Mayor?
Here.
Mrs. Johnson? Mr. Titterington?
Here.
Mr. McGarry?
Here.
Mrs. Mahan? Here. Mr. Force?
Here. Okay, the minutes of our August 12th meeting have been presented to us. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to those minutes?
One correction.
Yes, Mr.
Under the Limelight Salon,
Okay.
I don't think Mrs. Mayor seconded the motion.
Mrs. Mayor.
Sometimes it's called into question.
That's the only correction.
Thank you for making that correction. With that correction, I move to approve the minutes.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second the motion.
Is there a second to the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The minutes as amended stand
You thought
approved.
nobody read it.
I went past that.
The first item on the agenda for discussion is historic district application 111 West Water Street. Staff have a report.
We do. I have given a copy of some photos of this building pre-construction or pre-alteration. 111 West Water Street is the current location for the brewery. They have received property maintenance orders for some repairs to the building, which they went ahead and did those repairs, obviously without coming here first. That's why we're here now. They do propose to paint the structure as exactly as it's shown in the photos provided because that's what's there. The photos that are being passed around are what it was before. Staff does recommend approval of the proposed exterior paint scheme based on the fact that they do not detract from historic integrity of the district. It does create a positive impact on that building, and it does fit well, and it looks much better than what it did.
Does anybody else need to see the photos? No. Any questions of staff?
Move for approval.
Motion to approve. Is there support for the motion?
I'll second that.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Is the applicant here? No. Okay. Please call the roll.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
As opposed to Mrs.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan? Yes. Mr. Force?
Yes.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes. Matter stands approved. Next matter, historic district application for 303 West Franklin Street for garage addition, etc. The staff have a report.
Yes, I do. The applicant, Tim O'Neill, who's in the audience with us today, is proposing to do several exterior changes to the home located at 303 West Franklin. Because there were numerous changes, I broke them down into different items so that way the Commission would have an opportunity to vote on each issue. So the first one up is a garage addition. The applicant has received prior approval from the Board of Zoning Appeals to construct an attached garage addition in the required rear yard setback. The BZA did require that the front of the garage be flush with the house and not extend out past the house. The exterior of the garage will be constructed with aluminum siding, which is the same material as the house, and it will also be painted to match the exact same color of the house as it is today. The garage door will be the same color as the house, and it will have black hinges. And there is a picture of the garage door in your packet with even though the garage door is white, I was showing for the hinges, and that is also the style of door there. The existing portion of roof, which is currently flat, which there's an elevation in your packet also, shows that that will be changed to a trussed roof. And basically it's to tie everything together to have a more put together appearance, so basically it doesn't look like a garage was slapped on the back of the house. The shingles on the garage addition will also be matching the existing shingles on the house. So basically all the colors of the garage addition are going to match what's already there. That's my first item.
Okay, let's take these items one at a time. Any questions of staff concerning the garage addition?
Yeah, can you clarify exactly where the garage is and what that means as far as the BZA saying it's got to be flush with the building?
So on your picture here,
Is this the picture you're referring to?
yes, the garage is going to be built right here,
How much room is there going to be left between the
8
garage
inches
and the other house?
in the other property line.
Other house?
So how much is between the property line and the other
I
house?
believe there is a foot on the Denlinger's house, so basically 20 inches.
Not even far enough to get a lawnmower through.
It's all concrete here, and the Denlingers on their property line have like a concrete step up.
Have the Dellingers been approached? Do they have a problem with it?
I'm sorry?
Do the Dellingers have a problem with it?
No, actually, they came to the Board of Zoning Appeals and supported the garage addition. The reason why the garage addition has to be flush with the house is because the Denlingers have 3 windows on that side of the house, and at first it was asked to have the garage addition brought out about 3 feet
Towards the street?
towards the street, but that would then block all 3 windows that the Denlingers had. So the
Well, as it is, it's blocking at least 2, right?
yes, but the Denlingers and the property owner, the O'Neills, talked about it before they came to the meeting, and then they agreed at the meeting that if they kept the garage flush, if that was okay with the BZA, then that way it would only block 2 of their windows and not all 3, so they could still see out and get sunlight.
And the Dellingers are the owners of the property, not necessarily tenants.
That's correct, they own it. And the BZA was okay with that.
Any other questions concerning the garage addition? Okay, go ahead and proceed, please.
It's going to be tight.
Okay, the next item is adding to the existing porch. The applicant is proposing to construct a porch addition measuring 20 feet by 9 feet 6 inches, and also install a 20-inch tall paver wall around the perimeter of the porch. As you can see, there's an example of the paver there, and the pavers will be buff in color. The applicant is proposing to remove the existing steps and interior sidewalk located on the south side of the porch, and then install an interior sidewalk on the east side of the property.
Any questions about the existing porch issue? Go ahead and proceed, please.
Next item up is a driveway addition. The applicant is proposing to widen the existing driveway by 5 feet, and will be using concrete as the material in order to match the existing concrete drive.
An additional 5 feet in which direction?
I'm sorry, that would be to the south.
So, farther in front of the house.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Titterton?
will there be any green space left on this property?
Yes, they are exactly at 50% lot coverage,
Which is what's required?
which is required.
After the fact, that'll be
After, if they are permitted to build all these things, they will be right at 50% lot coverage.
Any other questions concerning the driveway issue? Proceed with the fence then.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, one item I did not mention under the garage addition is the trim around the, just a minute, excuse me, just a moment. Let's see. The trim around the garage door will be almond in color, and here's an actual, that's the almond color.
So as opposed to do we have an official color, or is this contingent on
No, that is the
as-built?
Yes, that's what it will be. Okay, so my
Go ahead.
last item is the fence. Applicant is proposing to add a 10-foot section of 42-inch tall wood fence on the western property line. There is an existing privacy fence on the property line, but it does not come out all the way to almost the back of the sidewalk. Applicant is requesting to basically install in that 10-foot section. It would be a wood fence, open style, and basically matches the existing wood of the wood material, I should say, of the existing fence.
So you're saying this is on the west side of the lot,
Yes,
so it'd be farthest away from the Short Street,
that's correct.
behind the house.
But it's basically,
So this would be in the front yard?
this portion, the 10-foot, will be in the front yard.
And
That's
it would be how tall?
no taller than 42 inches.
You said it was open style, but that's private.
Well, this is an almost example because I talked to the property owner after I received the information and explained to him, this is a shadow box type fence. It has the slats on the other side, but the slats aren't going to be built on the other side. And it will be then open in between the slats, and it's 42 inches tall.
Okay, so why did they include?
Well, I have got to that part yet. I was going one section at a time.
I'm still confused. The fence that you're talking about here, how far south is going to go towards Franklin Street?
And there should be a site plan.
So this would be-
Yes, this is Franklin
Franklin
right
here,
here,
okay.
10 feet. It's about 6 inches behind the sidewalk, going back 10 feet.
Okay, which we permitted in other properties.
Yes, it's
Code allows it,
permitted
yeah.
in the code,
Gotcha.
as long as it's an
It's
open
40.
style.
And
fence.
not 42, and more than 42.
More than, right, correct.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead and go
It's
with your
a
steel fence.
Yeah, that's,
Okay. The applicant is also proposing to install a 42-inch tall black steel fence behind the sidewalk on both the West Franklin Street and Short Street sides of the property. Steel fence would run beside it would go north on Short Street, and then make a 90-degree turn beside the driveway up towards the house.
And how far back away from the sidewalk will that be?
6 inches. And then this is then the example of the black steel fence.
And why would they be switching materials?
Well, one, I believe there's an existing fence, and Jenny, correct me if I'm wrong, in the back that's wood, and that they couldn't actually tie in a metal fence with a wood fence, different materials, without a 90-degree separation.
Well, but this steel fence is going to connect to the wood fence, the 10-foot wood fence along the other frontage.
With a
correct?
90-degree.
But it has a 90-degree corner, which our code allows a change in material at a corner.
Why would we
That's
want
what the
that?
code,
Why?
that's what the
I
code
think that
allows.
was put
Yeah,
in
well,
there.
that's not the art, we're here for the architectural review. I'm just curious as to why not continue the wood around the corner and make it consistent, since that's all frontage that everybody's going to be able to see.
You can ask the applicant, I believe he's here.
Sure. Hi, I'm Tim O'Neill, your homeowner. I myself would love to take the fence around and take a 90 and go up to the wood, because the way it is now, the 6-foot wood fence that is existing is right behind the house. So the house is basically right here. You come out 10 foot on Franklin and the sidewalk. I think it would look better because you don't even see the fence because it's behind the house totally. And there's a large wooden gate there, if that makes sense. So I think it would look better, but we can't do it, of course. Just take that metal fence all the way around 10 feet, 90, come down Franklin and Short, go up Short, a 90, another 90 at the driveway and up to the house. Because then when you come around that corner, you're going to see nothing but the steel fence, basically. But I'm okay with the wooden fence.
I like the steel fence all the
Yeah,
way
I do
around,
too.
but what would it take to go ahead and permit that under our code? Have to be some sort of variance?
No.
Can't apply for
Can't do
a variance for that.
Yeah, we asked
The
about
issue,
that.
the issue is because you've got a section of 6-foot tall fence, and you can't attach a
6 foot
different
tall wood fence.
wood fence, and you can't attach the steel to that wood fence. That's
correct.
why you have to
A
start.
different
with this.
material, my
Unless he
understanding.
wants- Unless he wishes to remove the 6-foot wood fence and go with the metal fence all the way
All the
around the
way.
property.
Right, well, this is already a $4,200 project, just the metal fence, just 20 sections.
So the 10-foot extension of the 42-inch wood is extending off of the existing 6-foot wood fence.
Which would be the same existing material.
Well, that makes
wood,
sense.
treated lumber.
I understand now.
This is actually, this photo here, I have another rental property on 321 Franklin, and I put that up. And it's a gorgeous fence, and I did it myself, and that's what I kind of wanted to do with it, and I understand the open fence, I'm fine with it. But I am going to keep the square top, that's what's conformed to the existing. Pardon?
Across the street? Is that property across the street?
No, this is on the east end. It's down by St. Pat.
Oh,
I've owned it about 30 years, separating the properties. So that's why I took a picture of this, and then later I found out that it had to be open, which I'm fine with too. Shannon's been great. I mean, the whole thing is, my daughter lives there. She's working on her master's. She's going to be there 5 years. I've owned the property. I bought it for a rental, or not for a rental, just because my house sold so quickly, and I had to move into something. And my in-laws lived 2 doors down to 315. So anyhow, I got acquainted with the neighbors, and I said, if you ever want to sell it, let me know. And he said, sure. So they called me one night, and we shook hands, and I bought it at 10:30 that night. Nice people. So it's just been a great rental. I just kept it. So this is the year of the red house. We've done everything inside and remodeled. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's great. And so my daughter's going to be there for 3 more years, if not longer, working on her master's. So I want to make it the year of the red house is what we're calling it, you know. So I don't do anything shoddy, cheapy. You know, my brothers are O'Neill Builders or Antonio O'Neill. I'm open for any suggestions. I've worked and thought about this, and Shannon and I have this over and over with Ernie, Tony, my brother, everyone that I know, just getting ideas. I think it's really going to make, because it's actually the ugly duckling in the neighborhood. I mean, it truly is because of the setup of the yard. The yard's horrible. I mean, the way it is, it's just basically right up against the property in the back. And we're calling actually the side the front. It's just strange, you know. But I think alleviating the fence or the sidewalk coming into the front and having a fence around the whole property is just going to segment it and just make it aesthetic. I mean,
Any other questions of the applicant? Any other questions of staff? Thank you very much. Okay. And staff recommends approval.
Is that everything, Shannon? Fence was the last issue?
Fence was the last issue.
Pretty sure.
I'm positive.
Okay. Anybody want to take any action on this matter?
I'll move for adoption or approval.
Motion approved?
Each part.
All the parts?
All parts, yeah.
Okay. Any support for the motion? No
Second.
support. Mrs. Mahan. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan?
Yes.
Mr. Force?
Yes.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Next, we have a historic district review of 80 South Plum Street for replacement of 8 windows. Does staff have a report?
Yes, we do. The applicant, Robert Huffman, is requesting approval from Planning Commission to replace windows at the property located at 80 South Plum. The applicant is proposing to replace 8 windows total on the first and second floor of the building. Proposed windows are Anderson 400 series Woodwright 6x6 double hung sash windows. There's an example in your packet. The windows will be clad in aluminum and will be white in color. Now, as you also can see in your packet, there's a long list of other exterior activities going on with the property, but all of those are in-kind changes. There's no color change. They're using the exact same material as already there. So basically, they're just spiffing up the outside. There are also interior changes that we don't have anything to do with. And staff does recommend approval.
Any questions of staff?
Nice.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second. Does the applicant have anything he wants to say?
No. We're just trying to keep it looking nice. We're proud of it and we want to keep it looking good.
Appreciate that, Bob. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan?
Yes.
Mr. Force?
Yes.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Okay, approved.
Thank you, folks.
Next matter is the dedication of right-of-way on North Market Street, just north of Stony Ridge Avenue. Staff have a report?
Yes, we do. Thank you. This is dedication of right-of-way along the 1500 block of North Market Street. It's essentially where Dr. Bentley's office is. Stennis Street. They are doing a replat, and as part of that, we did ask for some additional right-of-way to line up with the existing right-of-way. It is 0.03 acres of existing right-of-way. We are asking Planning Commission to make a positive recommendation to City Council for this dedication.
Why are they doing the replat?
They are wanting to do a driveway addition to their building, and to do that, they have to be on the same lot, so they're replatting into one lot.
Where's the driveway addition going to be?
It will be on Outlot 5113. That would actually come later. We've not received an actual application for that. This is the first step in that process.
So it would be
towards,
where
It would
the
be
dedication
toward,
is?
It would be north. Yeah, it would be north.
Okay. Any questions of staff?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
We're not approving it, are we?
Oh, recommendation.
Recommendation. Move to approve a recommendation to the council.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mrs. Mahan?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Okay. Does staff have anything else they want to discuss?
Yes, we do have 3 items we could. The first one would be a historic review for 1 East Main Street. It is essentially the Saddleman Building, or where Savvy Squirrel used to be. We have an application from the Detroit Chamber. You may know J.C. Wallace. He is in the audience. He is the applicant for what they want to do is a window decal. And it will be, if you go to the back page, it's actually this. It will be on the front doors of the building. We try to get color swatches, and the best we could get was this. It won't actually say this. It will state what's on here, but it will be these exact colors of red, white, and blue. It is well below the signage that is allowed, and it will be removed after the contest is over. The staff does recommend approval. I can pass it around if you'd like to see it.
Any questions of staff? Does the applicant wish to say anything? Good. Thanks.
As a legal counsel, as co-chair of the steering committee for America's Best Communities, do I have to
Abstain.
abstain?
Are you making any money off this?
I am on the
I would
committee
be
because
conservative myself.
you understand.
I'll tell him, Patrick, don't give me the eye roll and stuff.
But still, there would be 4 people that would need to approve it. I just feel more comfortable only because I am directly engaged, as well as some other person here. I'll let him speak for himself, but
I'm voting. I'm not making any money on this.
Well, is
Pretty
there
clear.
any
I
action?
recommend approval.
Thank you. Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
I abstain.
Mr. Titterington?
Absolutely.
Mr. McGarry?
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan?
Yes.
That passes. Thank you. Next matter.
Next matter is I dropped off some information for the second year for Second Story Secrets. It's an event by Troy Community Works. It's held in downtown. It will be Sunday, Saturday, September 19th. It will actually follow the Taste of Troy. There's 10 to 12 businesses that have opened up their second, third floors. For those of you interested, like I said, it's the second year for this event. I just wanted to make you guys aware of that and give the information.
And I understand there are different locations than they were the last Second Story.
Yeah, some are the same. I believe half of them roughly are different than the last time.
Yeah, that was really nice last time. New uses of the Dye Building. Are we going to take a look at the new condominiums that are upstairs in the Dye Building?
You'll have to buy that ticket behind me.
That's pretty good.
Come on.
Very good.
Nice
Nice.
teaser there.
That's pretty good.
Okay, anything else to come before the commission?
The last thing is I passed out save the date cards. This is for the Miami Valley Planning and Zoning Workshop. We have this every year, so this is 29th. It will be in December, and if there's interest in going, we can obviously sign you up and arrange for rides there. And I believe the full information comes out with sessions in October. I'll pass those out once those are available.
See, it includes parking, lunch, and an evening social hour. If I just wanted to come for the social hour, is that okay?
We can probably arrange that to happen.
Anything else?
That is it. Thank you.
Okay. commission want to discuss anything further?
I just want to go on record. I support the program, America's Best Communities, the location, everything about it. I just feel because I act as a co-chair on the steering committee that it had a potential conflict. I don't want that to interfere with the decision that has been reached. That's why I chose to abstain. Not that I think it's a great location and it's a great project and it's great for our community.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anything further? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You stand adjourned. Thank you.